Ladies and gents, welcome back. The word is on the street in Ottawa that there's a shuffle coming to Trudeau's cabinet. Now, many are jumping ship already, and this comes on the heels of news that Trudeau doesn't want anyone who won't be running in the next election to remain in his cabinet and come this fall. So there's many people who are just have come to a time where they feel that they won't be running in that next election because of their age or for other reasons. Now, when we might get that election, we don't know. We don't know. He may still hold on to that power until 2025. But some others are getting the boot, not because of their age, but because of the job they've been doing. Now, it doesn't mean that you don't have to be doing a good job for Canada to remain in the Trudeau cabinet. You have to be doing a good job for Trudeau and his appearance. And well, here we go. We have this cartoon already jumping in the headlines here with Trudeau shuffling, fumbling, and showing that all of his cards are jokers. That's really where we're at here. Vesper Designs also showing the Liberals jumping ship. There's all the rats jumping off the ship here in the shuffle that's upcoming. But here we go with some of this story. Brian Lilly from the Toronto Sun, with this article, Trudeau drops ministers in droves ahead of cabinet shuffle. Trudeau government going for a major refresh by dropping old faces, bringing in the new. I don't know how you're going to revamp your image. Trudeau's party has got a very terrible image at this point. Well, just based on how Canada's been going after 8 years of Trudeau. Trudeau Liberals were throwing bodies overboard ahead of the cabinet shuffle faster than many people could count. It started with Carolyn Bennett announcing she wouldn't run, quickly followed by Omar Algebra, Helena Jacek, and Joyce Murray. Add to that the leaks about Marco Mendicino, David Lametti, and Mona Fortier all being dropped from the cabinet. And we've got 7 of 39 leaving before the shuffle has even begun. So this is all preliminary. We don't know who exactly and what the positions and where it all is going to be. This is not yet been announced. Now, some again have announced themselves that they're leaving. This isn't the Trudeau's government making the announcement as of yet, just here. But here's Omar Algebra saying that he's not going to be running in the next election.
Hi friends. After almost 11 years as a member of parliament, 2.5 years as a minister, and 6 elections, I've made the difficult decision to not run in the next election. Until then, I will continue to serve the constituents of Mississauga Centre as their member of parliament. As a result of this decision, I'm also stepping aside from my role as minister because the Prime Minister deserves a cabinet who is committed to running in the next federal campaign. Oh,
he deserves all kinds of things, that's for sure. But he goes on to talk about a lot of the things that he was proud of in this time that he had as the Minister of Transportation, all the things that he's proud of. One thing is high-speed rail that never came to be, going from Montreal to Toronto. Good luck with that. Good luck with that in the future to whoever has that position. But we all just remember him for ArriveCAN app. That's this is what everyone's going to remember this guy for. And limiting people's ability to travel during the pandemic. Great job you did there for Trudeau, of course, for Trudeau in this case. Now, we all know how things have been going for Justin Trudeau. Justin Trudeau is the least liked prime minister in 55 years. I reported on this yesterday. Surveys are showing that people are not happy with Trudeau, and he's trying to revamp this in this way. Majority of Canadians think Trudeau government spends too much on the wrong things. And too much and on the wrong things. This is exactly what's going on with this. But hey, moving on in this. Now, it's really difficult to navigate the news these days, and I really wanted to showcase this. I know a lot of people tune into this channel for this reason, because you get news that's catered for the parties or for the giant corporations. But I found one news source that's actually really good, and I wanted to recommend this one out to everybody. This is called Ground News. You can find it at ground.news. And well, it's a great tool to find your way through navigating news. If you go to Google and you search a particular news event that's happening, it will give you basically all of the corporate media's take on it, and it's very it's catered to them to feed you information. This is a good news information website where you can go through and find all kinds of different stories on news articles, and it does essentially what I do. It takes the news and it unspins it, unpackages it, and it presents it to you in a way that is more digestible. Now, I have it set to the Canada edition. You can set it to your local region. US News is probably the most popular, where people will check out all kinds of news stories from America and beyond, of course. But what I like best is when you click on a news story. This is the news story that we're talking about today. Nearly the entirety of the cabinet will be new in new roles after Wednesday's shuffle. What they do is they'll break it down. They'll give you a total amount of news sources. So this is the thing. It's not a news website. They're not giving you the news. They're giving you news sources, and then they break them down based on their biases. I like how they use AI to generate basically what the opinions of the left, center, or right are. You can click on it and see where they stand. It breaks down basically all of the left-leaning sources and says this is their opinion on it, or this is their coverage of it. The center and the right. This one, for example, has 10 total news sources. 3 are leaning left, 2 are leaning right, and there's 4 on the center. Now we can all argue where those positions would be relative. I'd say that CBC News, for one, or the Toronto Star would be far further left. But that's this is just how it gets aggregated based on the parameters that are set on the website. But you can check out the bias distribution here, and also ownership, which is a really interesting way to navigate. You can look at the ownership of the potential sources that you're getting the news from, so you can get a better idea of who owns these outlets and where their biases might be, whether they're a wealthy corporate owners, government, media conglomerates, private equity, or other telecom, independent news. And you can see just who's covering these news stories. It's an interesting way to analyze the news, look through the news, and find the articles that you want to read about. One good feature that I like to use, this is the blind spot news articles. So it'll show you where some of the blind spots are, where you have news coverage that is heavily on the right or heavily on the left, and what kind of coverage that they're giving towards these stories. It's a great way to actually experiment and look into the stories, so you can give yourself a better idea of what both perspectives, or the center, left, or right perspectives are on any given news story. But the problem with the news, of course, is the fact that there is too much bias in news, and it's hard to unspin the spin that they put on their coverage. And this news website, ground.news, is a great way to figure that out and navigate the news in a very easy and put together way. You can get the app, or you can just look on it on the website. I like to bookmark it so I can get right into it any day of the week and jump into that. So I want to thank ground.news for reaching out to me to make this available to you guys and put this out there. But yeah, this is definitely a good way you can check it out. So check it out at ground.news. Link will be in the description and in the pinned comment down below. So go check that out for sure. But moving on to the story, Canada Proud reporting, breaking: Trudeau Attorney General David Lametti is expected to be removed from cabinet when Trudeau's shuffle is announced. So, I mean, this is speculation. We don't know. This, of course, is the David Lametti, the Attorney General that was replaced Jody Wilson-Raybould when she refused to not go after SNC-Lavalin. This is a really interesting story. Refused not to go. She wanted to go after SNC-Lavalin. Trudeau wanted her to back off. She didn't. So she fired him. Or he fired her and hired David Lametti. This is, of course, the MP who famously believes that Canadians don't have a fundamental right to property. But that's that. Now, there's a bunch of speculation. We don't know yet. So this is the thing. We don't know who exactly is getting the boot yet. But these are the inside scoops that we're getting. A lot of these leaks, the leaks are from cabinet to see how the reaction will be. According to Radio Canada, CBC's French language arm, Foreign Affairs Minister Melanie Joly and Environment and Climate Change Minister Stephen Guilbeault are not changing portfolios. Ditto with Deputy Prime Minister, Finance Minister Chrystia Freeland. A lot of people hoping that she would get the boot. This is, of course, from True North News. Now back to Brian Lilly's article from the Toronto Sun. Reports have Pablo Rodriguez moving from Heritage, where he botched the C-18 Online News Act rollout, which was a complete failure. It was amazing how much of a backfire that was on them. They wanted Google and all the other big media websites, social media websites, to pay our news agencies, the ones that are labeled official news according to the bill, pay them just to be on the websites. Well, of course, they just said, okay, well, we're just going to ban those websites from our social medias. So big backfire. And a much more complex file. Pascal Saint-Onge, who took on Hockey Canada at Sports, as touted as his replacement. Well, we'll see how that goes for him. One name floated to replace Mendicino as public safety is Trudeau confidant and fixer Dominic LeBlanc, the guy who told us, we're no longer going to be fully vaccinated. It's going to be up to date. That's how we're going to go forward with our vaccine statuses. That was Dominic LeBlanc. He may now be the public safety minister. Oh boy, we'll see what happens there. Now, this, of course, comes on the heels of all the news about Marco Mendicino. Of course, he was the one who was, overseeing public safety. Was told about Paul Bernardo's being transferred to a medium security prison and ignored that until the very last minute, until it became a public outcry to why the heck is that even happening? All the way to this story, hypocrisy. This is from the CCFR. Mendicino family profiting from guns and ammo sent to Ukraine, while Public Safety Minister Marco Mendicino has focused Trudeau's gun ban legislation, Bill C-21, on disarming hunters and sport shooters. His wife held shares in Ukraine's war defense contractor Northrop Grumman, as he pledged to be out in front helping Ukraine with military aid. Records show stock in the company jumped 39% last year following Russia's invasion of Ukraine. Blacklock's reporter has the story, and there's a link here. I'll leave a link in the description down below for you so you can check that story out yourself. But this is very damning for... it just shows so much corruption in this government. Trudeau obviously trying to save face on his cabinet here by shuffling people around. But even Pierre Poilievre talking about he needs to shuffle Chrystia Freeland.
To an increase in interest rates to the highest level in 2 decades, something Trudeau promised would never have happened. And that debt gets bigger. He's doubled the national debt. Look at these beautiful children. They're going to inherit a debt which Justin Trudeau has doubled with the help of his finance minister, Chrystia Freeland. So I'm going to do what Chrystia Freeland has not done, which is to pay you your money back. But I'm also going to suggest that in the cabinet shuffle, Chrystia Freeland needs to be shuffled out. What do you think? You agree? Okay.
Well, that's looking not very likely. Chrystia Freeland boasting recently about how inflation is down to 2.8% in Canada. All they had to do was flub the numbers, remove things like food and shelter, food and housing, lodging from the CPI, and you get these kinds of numbers. The cost of food purchased from grocery stores increased by 9.1% annually in June, despite this new number of 2.8%. of inflation. Meat was up 69%, bakery products 12.9%, dairy products 7.4%, fresh fruit 10.4%. But things like that Canadians don't need as much, like cell phones, fell, bringing the CPI down. These are liberal economics. This is how it works. As long as it looks good on paper, it doesn't matter what what the reality of the situation is for them. But this is the reality of the situation. The condemnations are increasing. Trudeau has made so many mistakes in his cabinet choices due to his woke ideology, which did not focus on competence, but rather gender and racial identity. Who agrees with this one? This is Concerned Canadian putting this out on Twitter. And of course, well, the new polls that are coming out showing the Conservatives way in the lead. Not a lot of people are very supportive of Trudeau and his cabinet, but hey, you know, you could, as Vesper D is putting this out there, it doesn't matter how much you polish turd, this is still what you get. But hey, let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Leave a comment and let me know what you think of this cabinet shuffle. Is it going to make a difference? Do you think the rumors of a fall election are happening? Why would they have a fall election when it looks like they're going to lose? I don't know why they would let go of power when they have it. For all intents and purposes, I believe that they're gonna hang on to it until 2025. But hey, that's leave that one up to you guys. Leave a comment in the comment section down below. Let me know what you think, and go check out ground.news. Link as always in the description down below. And we'll see you in the next one. Keep on trucking.